Hello! Welcome back to my channel, a hello for the first time, how are you doing? Today we're going to bake. What are we going to bake, you ask? I hear you all asking. Today we're going to make carrot cake. I have not made carrot cake in years and Marcus loves carrot cake. The only stipulation with that is the carrot cake cannot, under any circumstance, have raisins or sultanas in it. Marcus just does not mess with that, he cannot deal. And therein lies the discussion, because there seems to be no in between. People don't just take it or leave it. You either absolutely have to have raisins in your carrot cake, or you absolutely think that raisins are the devil. So, please let me know in the comments below, which one are you? Do you think that raisins are the devil and should not be put in any baked goods? Or do you think that raisins are acceptable and should be in a carrot cake? And also your cookies. Moving on from that discussion, I've tried to find some carrot cake recipes that I like and I struggled to find any. I've had a look through some of my cookbooks, which that's what that is, that's all of my cookbooks, and there's none in there that I really enjoy that much. I had a look online, there was some that had yogurt in them, there was some that just had the strangest things in them, 2 or 3 different kinds of sugar and all that. So what I've done is I've taken the basic recipe of carrot cake and done what I want. I've put in different spices, changed the sugar, used self-rising flour, because if you can find flour anywhere, I guarantee you that you cannot find plain flour or strong red flour anywhere. So all you can find, if you can find flour, is self-rising. So I'm going to use self-rising today because why not? So yeah, the cake recipe I've got today is a bit of a Frankenstein, but I think it's going to be great. So that being said, let's make it. I'll show you the ingredients we have and then we'll just make this carrot cake. Hello, right, so this is everything you're going to need just for the cake. I'll show you a setup similar to this later on when we come to the icing. Basically it's the icing sugar and the decoration and whatnot. But for just the cake, this is it. I've tried to keep it as simple as possible, just a tasty business, that's all we need. So, in front of us just now, we have 200 grams of carrots which have been peeled and then grated, 225 millilitres of sunflower oil, 75 grams of walnuts, and I plan on chopping these, 4 eggs already beaten, 225 grams of self-rising flour which I've already sifted, bicarbonate of soda which you will need 1 teaspoon of, ground cinnamon and ground ginger which you will need 1.5 teaspoons of each, and 225 grams of light muscovado sugar. The reason I've used light muscovado is it turns very caramelly, it'll make the cake have a good consistency, it's just a delicious sugar to use. It's great for cakes and cookies and whatnot, it's just a great sugar. So yeah, I'm using that today. So because I've got everything here already prepped, basically this is going to be an absolute doddle, so what I recommend you do just now is preheat your oven. So you're going to have to preheat your oven to 170 degrees or 150 degrees if you've got a fan. And if you're Fahrenheit and gas, I'll put that below in the description. Okay, so my oven is preheating, which you can obviously tell because it's so loud. And all I'm going to do now is chop these nuts. So, oh, why not? You just basically need to chop them roughly. If you want like blitzed, you can. If you want big chunks, you can. It's up to you. Do what you want. I want to be left with tiny chunks, but then also some big chunks. So for now, all I'm going to do is just put these nuts in with the carrots. Okay, so what we're going to do now is combine our sugar, that's very satisfying, with our eggs and our oil. So there go my eggs, and there goes my oil. And you're basically going to mix that till it's all nice and combined and smooth. Okay, so that's as smooth as I'm going to get it. There are some little black lumps in there because it's hard pieces of sugar. That's just the way of life. That's the sugar I used. Unless I get my hands in there and squeeze it, they're not going to dissolve, but they will dissolve in the cake. Okay, so get your flour, and now we're going to add in our 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda into there. And our spices. So that's 1 a cinnamon. There's my half a cinnamon. That is kind of my 1 for ginger. And there's my kind of half for ginger. Give that a nice wee mix through. To this we're going to add our carrots and our nuts, and at this point if you really want to, you can add sultanas and raisins. Now the reason I'm mixing the carrots with the flour is to separate all the carrots. Like usually if I was just to put all this together at once without mixing the carrots with the flour, I feel like you get big clumps of wet carrot that's stuck together and all that. I just feel like the flour helps separate all the little bits of carrot, which will inevitably help your carrot be nice and even through the cake. Cool, so now that's done, we add in this gloop. And then just give it a jolly big mix. Make sure you get your spoon right to the very bottom to make sure there's no big bits of flour or anything. And that is our carrot cake mix. Now you might be thinking to yourself, are you mental? That is so wet. Yes, yes it is. It's meant to be wet because it's going to go in the oven for a very long time. And then when it comes out, it's going to come out very moist. Apologies if that word triggers you. It's going to come out a fantastic consistency. So now what we need to discuss is the tins. So with this mixture, what you can do is you can put it into a circle tin or a square tin. I do not recommend putting them in these wee tins. These have obviously seen better days, but they're very shallow and it would not go in for an hour. It would go in for like 20 minutes max. Do not use these. I'm talking about using like a deep cake tin and then cutting the actual cake. So what I'm going to use is a square tin. So I have greased the sides with butter and I've put parchment paper at the bottom. This is a spring loaded tin, so it means I can pop it at the side and the bottom will come out and it should be okay. But I prefer a square tin with my carrot cake because for some reason with carrot cake I prefer to serve it in squares. So you'll cut it into squares rather than having slices, you know. So let's do that. So I'm going to take my spatula guy here because I want every single piece of this batter. Pour that bad boy in. I'm just going to use this spatula just to try and guide it over to the edges a little bit and flatten it out. So this now goes in your oven for anywhere between like an hour to an hour and 15 minutes depending on your oven. After an hour, stick a wee skewer in it and see how it's doing. If it comes out wet, leave it in. But anyway, I'll see you in an hour. Okay, so our carrot cake doesn't have long left in the oven, so we're going to start making the icing just now. So for the icing, what you're going to need is 250 grams of unsalted butter, very soft butter. My butter was not soft, so this is my attempt at trying to make it soft. 300 grams of icing sugar, some vanilla extract. You'll also need 400 grams of cream cheese. So I've already put my vanilla in my butter just to mix it because I wanted to put something wet in there to help me soften it. So what I'm going to do just now, look at the state of this. What I'm going to do is take as much butter off this spoon as I can, and I'm going to start adding in the cream cheese. Now I've got 2 different brands of cream cheese here, just happen to be that way. So each tub is 200 grams each, so I'll just plonk a full tub in and then get to the mixing. Right, it's softening up enough now that I can get it out my whisk, so that's a good sign. If you have an electric whisk at this point, use that. I don't. At the moment mine is broken, so I have to get a new one. Okay, and now we're just going to add in the other cream cheese. And again, just mix them. So that's the cream cheese and the butter fully combined. Now what I'm going to do is add in my icing sugar a bit at a time. So I'll put in that much for now. Again, you're not doing it right unless you make it fly everywhere. Okay, so this is your icing. You should have a sort of icing consistency. It is cream cheese and butter, so It does have to go in the fridge for a little bit, just so it cools down enough that it'll be nice and thick when you put it on your cake. You put it on your cake like this, it's going to squidge everywhere, so put this icing in your fridge for, I would say maybe 20 minutes, half an hour before you ice your cake. Again, that gives your cake time to cool down anyway. Your cake has to be fully cool before you decorate it. Okay, so our carrot cake is now fully cool and not warm anymore, so we can decorate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it in half. So there's going to be a base, and then some filling, and a top, and then some toppings, and then some decorations. I am not brave enough to cut this on camera, so I'm going to go away, I'm going to cut this in half, and I'll be back. Okay, I think I've successfully cut it as even as I can, but I am a big fat scaredy cat, and I'm too scared to lift this off on my own without any tools. So that's what I'm going to do. There we go, smashing. So there's the top of my cake, so I'll get rid of that for a moment. While I was raking in my cupboard, I seen this, so I think I'm going to use this today. This just means that it looks kind of prettier and I don't need to use a plate. Also, what I'm using today is a turntable. If you don't have one, I fully recommend you get one. This one cost me like £2–3 max, and it's just great. It's great for decorating cakes and making it easier and faster. Next, all we need to do is get our sort of cream cheese butter frosting idea. Give it a wee mix around because it's been in the fridge. And you're just going to take as much as you want and plonk it right in the middle. Because this cake is so moist, a lot of the crumb will end up picking up as you're frosting. Excuse me, I'm talking. Thank you. So the best thing to do is leave wee dollops everywhere, so you can just spread out the dollops. Now, I like to put the biggest dollop on the inside because you're going to work from the inside out. Okay, we'll go with that. It really doesn't matter if a lot of the crumb starts picking up anyway, because this is the middle and nobody's really going to see the middle. But for our own peace of minds, we'll just try not to. So I am basically trying to get to the edges, but not the full edge. I'm leaving a tiny wee rim. Reason for that is when you put the top on and you ice it and you cut it, if it's already at the edge, it's just going to splodge out the edge. Or again, you don't want splodging. Splodging is bad. So you want to just have it to the edge of the edge. So when you cut it, it doesn't splodge. So I am happy with that. And that's enough frosting for me in the middle as well. It's just enough. My oven has finally calmed down and stopped shouting at me, so that's great. So we'll just do this procedure again, where I'll put that under there, put that right under there, and hopefully that'll do for now. We'll give it a wee shimmy. So that's back on top, everything has not splooged. Now you won't get as much crumb because I can do that and nothing really comes up. It's quite a hard top, not a hard top, but nice crispy. So you can sort of ice your heart's content here in any direction. Buddha, do you mind? You're very rude. You know, there's no need for this behaviour. So we'll go with that. And we'll just push to the corners. That'll do. We'll stick with that. So, I also have walnuts, and I have these left over. If you also have some left over, you can do this too. But all I'm going to do, as I already advised, what I like to do is cut my carrot cake into squares. So, I'll be using my walnuts to identify a square, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to get some in these corners here. What I mean by that is, there'll be a wee walnut in the middle of every piece, like that. So those will be 3 squares. So that is my carrot and walnut cake, all decorated, all set out nice, looking straight from like the 60s, but that's how I like it. I think it's very nice this way. So what I'm going to do just now is put it in the fridge. This is to harden up some of this icing because it's starting to spludge, and spludging is bad. So we'll put it in the fridge, and once it's cool, we'll cut some up and we'll eat some. Check that looks nice.
Yes.
Don't you there. Right. Move.
Look how combative you are. It's because I wanted to touch the cake.
I was going to give you a full square, but we've not done it yet, so we'll
just for a wee piece.
What will we do? We'll just cut like
cut that, and then like cut it into wee quarters.
Well, each nut is a square of cake.
Okay.
So this cake only has 8 slices.
And then cut one slice into wee quarters.
I'll just put this on the plate, and then whatever we don't eat we'll put in the fridge.
Okay.
Wait for me to come back, thanks. I'm watching you.
No dinner.
I can see you!
I just want the walnut.
Right, go on then.
Am I allowed the walnut? Yeah.
Right. I would usually show the cake, but you've just destroyed the icing and tapping at the almond, or at the walnut, so...
I like walnuts.
You like carrot cake? Tell me what you think.
There's the raisins in this. Is there? I think I can see raisins. You tried to fucking trick me again?
No.
Ah, you have? What's that? Is that raisins? That is raisins.
That's not a raisin.
What is that then?
It's a bit of nut, you freak.
No, it's not. That's a raisin.
Babe, it is a piece of nuts, you absolute freak. There's no raisins in this cake. Just try a bit. There's no raisins in it, I swear.
I don't trust you. There better not be raisins in this.
We'll keep on straight for the edge bit.
Swear to God. I'll leave you.
You'll leave me if I put raisins in that cake?
Yes.
Why not just not eat the cake?
Because I want cake.
Okay.
I'm placing a great deal of trust in you.
There's no raisins in it. Pinky promise you, no raisins.
Alright.
Can I try a piece? Well?
That was good.
Is it nice?
Yeah. I like walnuts in cake.
The spices are quite nice in it. Are you confident now that there is no raisins?
Yes.
Cool.
Cool. It was good.
Wait, you always just come and go, aye, that's alright, and then you leave. Tell me what you think of it. Other than, it's alright.
It's nice. I enjoy eating it.
1 out of 10.
It has good mouth feel.
Tell me 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. 10.
Don't lie to me. Don't patronise me.
Okay then, well, it's either a case of either I lie and try and get out of that.
No.
And you fucking go, don't lie to me, or I give you a truthful answer and you're like, why is it no 10?
Give me a truthful answer.
7.
I would have ranked it at a 6.
Really? Okay.
So, I mean...
Are you going to argue with me as soon as that stops filming?
No. I just wanted a genuine opinion.
Ah, it's good. 7 out of 10, carrot cake, no raisins. It'd have been a 0 if it had raisins.
Smashing. At the start of this video I asked everyone what their opinion was on raisins, whether or not raisins were the devil or raisins were allowed. And your opinion is fully that raisins are the devil?
Raisins are absolutely a creation of Beelzebub.
I quite like raisins. I like chocolate covered raisins.
Golf.
And I like raisins in cookies and whatnot. Cool. Fuck it off.
Okay, bye.
Get out of my kitchen.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Cool, so that was carrot cake. Tastes really nice, it's really, really moist. I can't think of another word for that, so I'm really, really sorry. The icing's nice, it goes really well with it. I'm happy, it is what it is. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Also, I read every single comment, so I look forward to seeing if you believe that raisins are evil or raisins are good guys. If you want to support me in any way, shape or form, I have a Patreon and I also have merch. Links to that will be down below. All that being said, thank you so much and I'll see you later. Bye!